Welcome to our algebra course. Today we will be learning Section 3, Chapter 3, Systems of Equations. In Section 3, we'll be learning about the substitution method. This video is hosted by Iridium Tutoring. Substitution method. In this method, variables are eliminated by substituting the value of another variable in an equation. So the substitution method is just a way to solve one system of equations. Here's an example. Given these two systems, x plus y equals 2 and x minus y equals 0, we have to solve the system of equations algebraically. If you remember the last video, we learned how to solve a system by graphing. In this case, we're doing it algebraically by doing substitution. So first, you have your two system laid out like so. Now you have to find what x is equal to so that we can substitute it in the next step. So basically, what we did is that we took the first equation right here, x plus y equals 2, and subtracted y from both sides to get x equals negative y plus 2. So now we know what x can be set to. So in any case, x can be this or this can be x, is what the equal sign refers to, as we have learned from previous videos. So now we go into the second equation, and we can see kind of a common factor between the two. Here we know what x is equal to, and then in the second equation we know that there is an x. So we can substitute this value, which is what x represents, into here. Here's how that works. You basically get rid of this x and write this value instead. So it would be negative y plus 2 in parentheses, because if there's a coefficient here, then you have to make sure to multiply properly. So if there was a 2x, then you would have to do 2 times like distributive property. But in this case, there is no coefficient, so it would just be minus y plus 2 parentheses minus y equals 0. So again, we're substituting for x in this step. So once you solve that out by adding or subtracting like terms, you should end up with minus 2y plus 2 equals 0. Now we want to find the value of y, because as you can see, there's one variable, there's an equal to sign, so we can perform algebra on this equation to solve for y. So if you subtract 2 from both sides, you should get minus 2y equals minus 2. And then you can divide both sides by negative 2 to finally end up with y equals 1. And you do that using the properties of equality discussed in past videos. And from this point on, you have to use substitution again, and it's pretty straightforward from here, because now you know what the value of y represents. It represents the number 1. So I'm just going to erase this real quick. So we go back to our original equations, which are right here, and you can actually pick any random one. You can pick this one or you can pick this one. It doesn't really matter, but let's say you pick the first equation. So once you pick that out, now you can substitute the value of y into here, because there's a y right here. So x plus 1, because remember we can substitute y for 1, x plus 1 equals 2. And use the properties of equality, subtract 1 from both sides to get x equals 1. So your final answer should be 1, 1, or x equals 1, y equals 1. So the substitution method is really just defined in its name because you are substituting. If you don't know what the word substitution means, just search it up and you will understand. Here is another practice problem with the substitution method. Given the two systems of equations, x minus y equals 13 and 4x plus 2y equals 10, we have to solve them so that we find a value that satisfies both equations. So first, we took the first equation and basically subtracted x from both sides to end up with minus y equals minus x plus 13. So basically, to get rid of this negative sign, you would just divide both sides by -1, meaning this will cancel out, but then this will turn into a minus sign. As seen right here. So it would be y equals x minus 13. So now we know that what y is equal to and what we can set y equal to as well. So we go back to either one of these equations. For the purpose of this problem, we chose the harder route just to show the coefficient way, but the faster way in this case would just be to substitute y into here. But yeah, let's check the other way too. So first you would substitute y with this value right here, x minus 13. So it would be 4x plus 2 times, this is why the parentheses matter, because you have a coefficient before the x, I apologize, before the y. So do 2 times x minus 13 equals 10. And now use the distributive property to multiply 2 into that x minus 13, which you should end up with 4x plus 2x minus 26 equals 10. And now add 26 to both sides to end up with 4x plus 2x equals 36. And then add 4x plus 2x, 6x equals 36. Divide both sides by 6 to end up with x equals 6. And we basically use the properties of equality to solve through them. So I'm just going to clear this and write x equals 6. Now we know what x is equal to. So we can go to either one of these equations and substitute x and find what y would be equal to. So in this case, the most easiest way would be to use the first equation right here. So you would do 6 minus y equals 13. Subtract 6 from both sides to end up with minus y equals 7. And to get rid of that negative sign, you would divide both sides by -1, meaning your final answer would be y equals -7. All right, so your final answer should be 6 comma -7, or x equals 6 comma y equals -7. Here are some more practice problems. I will run through the first one with you. In the first one, we've already been given what y is equal to, so this is actually really easy. So we go into the second equation right there and substitute y. So it would be 5x plus 4 times negative 5 equals negative 20. Now you would multiply 4 into negative 5. So it would be 5x minus 20 equals negative 20. And now you would add both sides by 20 to end up with 5x equals 0. Divide both sides by 5 to get x equals 0. Oh, x equals 0, sorry. And now that you know what x is equal to, you don't really need to find y in this case because you've already been given y right here. So it would be x equals 0, comma, y equals negative 5, or 0, comma, negative 5. And I want you to pause this video and work through the other two problems. All right, great. Let's see how you did. Here are the answers. You had to make sure to put them in x comma y form for this sake. And that is all for this session. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please tune in for section 4 where we will be discussing the elimination method, and I'll see you next time. Bye.